So here's Kevin, and Kevin's going to show us something really interesting that he discovered today.
Yeah, so my name's Kevin McPeak, and I'm here with Tool, and I was supposed to be giving a talk here in I think maybe 45 minutes, and I was getting in my room getting ready to give the presentation, and I thought, well, let's have a look, because somebody asked me a few minutes ago if I tried to pick the lock to my door, because I heard Adam Laurie used a sophisticated RFID attack against his door and succeeded. So I thought, let's just try a little piece of plastic. What I found out, now I will say, I have to disclaim this, because I am not a professional attacker, but I do have an interest I like to talk about, and that's picking. This isn't exactly lock picking, but it does relate to the hobby, because what I'm using here is a piece of what's called super mica, like Formica, to go around the angle of the door frame and press the lock bolt so that it unlatches. And I can have non-destructive entry to, well, in this case, my own hotel room. Okay, so I'm going to explain really quickly what the problem here is. The problem is not really so much with the lock, because it's a pretty good lock. It has a nice safety mechanism here so that when the door is operating as designed, both of these should go in at the same time. And then when this gets released into the open striker plate, the fact this is being held down tells this not to depress a second time. But where this is going wrong is that this door has seen some action. This plate, the whole lock unit, actually has sunk back into the door. So when this gets pressed down, it only gets pressed slightly, and this gets pressed all the way down, releases back, and it can be pressed down several times, because this is only pressed down about halfway. And so when I slide this through, after a few attempts, I was able to get this to completely press this down, because this is not depressing all the way down. And then that's basically the problem. So the solution would be to actually replace this entire door, one that fits into the door jamb without quite this big gap here. And that this lock unit, the whole cassette, should come flush back with the line of the door rather than being pushed so back far into the door. And that's how you would fix something like that. And the other problem is this lock here is not these just are cheap deadbolt locks, and they're actually very vulnerable to this same situation, because this one I can kind of illustrate, because what I'll do is I'll come at it from on the other side, and I'm coming at it, and I'll just be pushing at it with this. And that's kind of a bad illustration, but you get an idea. And I can actually try it if you want to see it from the other side. Here, what's happened is people will leave this so they don't get locked out of the room. And that will leave marks on the door. A solution to this might be to put a metal shim plate here. But an attacker can use these to judge exactly where those striker bolts are, so that he doesn't push all the way through, because the hook on the other side would prevent me from pushing any further, but if I hit just above that, I can swing that open. So I'm going to illustrate that now. Will you engage the hook lock, please? So now my trick is to find, and that's the nice thing about using this white super mica, is I can come down, I just insert a bit, now I can see where this little tooth mark is, and I know I only have to go that deep. Now if I pull in on the door and I push this through, I should be able to push it back. Can you let us know when that's gone through?
It's done.
So I'm just going to check it, and I've opened the top part.